You know that feeling, right? When you're at work and maybe there's just a part of you holding back. Maybe it's thinking about speaking up in a meeting or having to write an email in English if it's not your first language.
Yeah, that hesitation is really common.
So today, we're going to take a deep dive into how someone can actually move past that. Go from feeling hesitant to, well, confidently presenting ideas to an international company, even traveling abroad for work, all while getting comfortable with English.
It's a fantastic journey to unpack. That progression from uncertainty to real assurance.
It really is a journey of real growth.
And it's not just about, vocabulary lists or grammar rules, is it? It's more fundamental.
Definitely. It's about mindset, approach.
Exactly, a real shift.
Yeah.
So what we can dig into here are the specific things, the triggers maybe, that fuel that kind of transformation.
Right. And to do that, we're actually looking at excerpts from English at Work. It focuses on the story of Anna Petrova.
Anna.
Yeah. Think of it as a really relatable case study, looking at overcoming those professional communication hurdles.
Okay, so let's paint the picture a bit. Anna, she arrives in a new city, starts a new job, customer service.
Right. High-pressure communication right away.
Absolutely. And effective communication in English is suddenly crucial. Now, her written English is decent, apparently.
Okay.
But speaking, that's where the real anxiety kicks in. You know that feeling. Being immersed, constantly second-guessing yourself.
Totally. You can almost feel it reading about her first day. Even just walking into the office, she's giving herself this little internal pep talk. I could do this.
That first push.
Yeah, that little act of courage, pushing through that initial fear. Then she meets the receptionist, and boom, she's in an English conversation.
You can sense that nervous energy, can't you?
Definitely.
And what's really interesting, I think, in these early bits is the role of support, external support.
Yeah. Mark, the team leader, and Lucy, her co-worker.
Exactly. They step in right away, very encouraging. Mark directly tells her, your English is fine, take your time.
That must have helped.
Massively. And Lucy just proactively offers to help. It creates this safer space right from the start.
Psychological safety, yeah. That's huge. It lets you take risks.
It really does. That kind of positive reinforcement early on is critical for someone's willingness to just try using the language, even if it's imperfect.
And even the first tasks, like reading and writing emails, they become like building blocks.
Little wins.
Exactly. Mark gives her good feedback on her first email. Looks great, clear and polite. It's small, but it's an affirmation.
These micro-affirmations, they add up. They build that confidence bit by bit, incrementally.
Then comes the first phone call.
Oof. Yeah, you can almost feel the adrenaline spike reading that part.
And Lucy helps again, right? Gives her some notes.
Such a simple, practical thing to do. So empathetic.
It really is.
And then Anna's feeling afterwards, that internal thought, I spoke English at work today, that's not just relief. It's a major psychological victory.
It's proof, concrete evidence she can do it.
Exactly. First step, navigated successfully.
But of course, it's not all smooth sailing.
Yeah.
There are going to be bumps. All right.
Ways. And that inevitable test comes along the call with the really angry customer.
Yes. This is where it gets really interesting.
Because this customer is talking fast, they're upset, throwing a lot of information at her quickly.
Overwhelming.
Totally. And Anna's first reaction is just to freeze, which, let's be honest, is a completely natural stress response in that situation.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in a second language.
That feeling of being swamped by the speed, the emotion, it's very common. But then Lucy's there again, that calm encouragement. You can do it. Stay calm.
Like an anchor.
Exactly. An external anchor when her internal anxiety is spiking. It really shows the power of emotional regulation helped by others sometimes in tricky communication moments.
And Anna manages it. She gets back her composure.
She does. Skillfully slows things down, asks the customer to repeat things, focuses on the actual problem.
Finds the core issue, the missing photo attachment.
Right. Explains it clearly, offers a solution, resending the email. Problem solved.
And Mark's feedback afterwards is key too, isn't it? He praises her calmness, her listening.
That's a perfect service, he says. That's a huge boost to her self-efficacy, her belief that she can handle stuff like this again.
Yeah, that belief is everything.
And what's really insightful is Anna's own reflection after this whole thing. She thinks, don't be afraid. You understand more than you think.
That's a big shift.
It's a crucial cognitive shift. Often we think our limits are much tighter than they actually are. Facing these challenges gives you evidence against your own fears.
You bridge that gap between what you think you can do and what you actually can do.
Precisely. She's realizing, okay, maybe I don't catch every single word, but I can get the gist. I can communicate effectively enough.
So that builds some momentum. But then comes another step outside the comfort zone. The team meeting.
Ah, yes. Public speaking. Even just team level.
The thought of speaking in front of colleagues, again in English, that nervousness creeps back in.
And it's a different kind of anxiety, isn't it? From one-on-one calls to speaking to a group.
Totally. But Lucy gives her some advice again.
And it's great advice, deceptively simple. Basically, just talk about your week, what you learned, what was hard, like we talk now. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Focus on the message, not perfection. Be authentic.
Exactly. It lowers the stakes mentally, frames it as just talking.
And Anna does it. She makes notes, focuses on what she actually did, calls, refunds, shipping issues.
And importantly, she even admits she's still nervous. It's not a polished corporate speech.
No, it's real. It's genuine.
And the reaction is positive. Clapping, encouraging comments. It shows that vulnerability and authenticity, they actually build connection.
Yeah, people respond to that.
And her realization afterwards is just brilliant. I don't know if I can, but I will try. And sometimes I can.
That's the growth mindset kicking in right there.
Absolutely. Abilities aren't fixed. They develop with effort. She's internalizing that.
It's that feeling of actually doing the scary thing and surviving, even succeeding, that cements the belief.
Definitely. And she calls her mom that evening to share it, which shows how personally significant it was.
A nice touch. But she doesn't stop there, does she? She actively seeks out more ways to improve. The evening English class.
Right. Which shows that proactive drive, that commitment to keep learning.
And the class itself sounds great. Free, fun, friendly.
That kind of low-pressure environment is so valuable. Plus, meeting people from different backgrounds, all with the same goal. That builds community, motivation.
Peer learning, yeah. And that wrong is good game they play.
Brilliant, isn't it? It completely reframes mistakes. Instead of something to fear, they become opportunities. Gamification takes the sting out of errors.
Reduces that fear, encourages participation, makes it okay to mess up.
Precisely. And moving from the sort of formal work setting to these relaxed, practical chats in class helps solidify things, builds fluency in a different way.
Transferring skills, building confidence in just everyday talk.
And then Lucy sends that message about the French customer, acknowledging Anna's progress in handling different languages. More validation.
It all adds up. Even small things like the interaction she has at the bakery. There's subtle signs of her growing comfort.
These little everyday encounters become proof points.
And her reflection around this time is so insightful. I used to think confidence meant being perfect. Now I know it means trying even when I'm not.
That is such a powerful shift in understanding. True confidence isn't flawlessness.
No, it's the willingness to act, to communicate, even knowing you're not perfect.
And accepting that imperfection frees her up, really. It empowers her to take on the next challenge, the video call with international teams.
Okay, so another level up. France, India, Canada on the call.
Yep. And the nerves come back, naturally. But this time, she has strategies. She prepares.
Practices, makes notes.
Exactly. She's tackling it strategically now, not just reacting.
And it works.
Yeah.
She gives a clear update, gets good.
Definitely. And Mark explicitly recognizes her leadership potential. Her value isn't just her own English anymore. It's her ability to lift others up.
Her own summary is perfect.
Yep.
First I followed, then I spoke. Now I teach.
So concise, so powerful. Really charts her evolution.
Incredible development. But there's still another hurdle, an even bigger one.
Ah, the all-company meeting presentation.
Yeah, high stakes. Teams from different countries watching.
Understandably, she hesitates at first. Bigger audience, more pressure.
But what does she do? She goes back to her notebook.
Smart move. Revisiting her own journey, her past successes, to find motivation. That self-reflection is a great tool.
Bolsters the confidence, and she prepares diligently again. Practices.
Shows that determined approach. And when she actually presents, she's honest about her journey.
Right. She doesn't hide it. And she clearly communicates the team's wins.
And the response is really positive. Clapping emojis, messages. People connect with her honesty.
And Mark's feedback seals it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just speak, you connected.
That's the ultimate compliment for a communicator, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beyond just language, she built rapport.
It really is.
Yeah.
And her own takeaway is just, wow, today I spoke to 200 people. I wasn't fluent, but I was true, and that was enough.
So empowering. Authenticity and connection matter more than linguistic perfection. That's liberating.
Absolutely. And that realization, that confidence, it fuels the next big step, the work trip to London.
Okay, now we're really pushing the boundaries. New environment, native speakers, different culture.
Traveling alone, too. It's the ultimate real-world test, you could say.
Definitely. Testing all the skills and the confidence she's built up.
And even those first interactions, airport, hotel check-in, they seem small, but they're proof she can handle it. Understand and be understood.
Little wins in a high-stakes setting.
And then presenting in the London office, sharing ideas, getting good feedback there. That must have felt huge.
Solidifies her confidence on an international stage. And even navigating the social side, different accents, trying humor.
Yeah, that shows real adaptability, stepping way outside her original comfort zone.
Remarkable resilience, really.
And I loved Priya's feedback from the London team.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Thanks for sharing your voice.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded us to slow down and speak clearly with heart.
It shows communication is a two-way street, right? It's not just on the non-native speaker. Listeners need to adapt, too.
Such a valuable point. It's about mutual effort and understanding.
And Anna's final reflection on that trip, London. Not just a trip, a mirror. I saw myself and liked who I saw.
Wow. That signifies such deep personal growth beyond just the job. Real self-acceptance.
What a journey.
So, yeah. We've really followed Anna's incredible arc from feeling hesitant, self-conscious about her English,
Right.
to someone who genuinely communicates confidently in all sorts of settings, professional, social, even international travel.
So for you listening, what are the big takeaways here? What can we pull from Anna's journey?
Well, I think it's clear that building confidence isn't an overnight thing. It's gradual.
Small steps.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Exactly. And being willing to embrace mistakes, see them as learning opportunities, not failures, that's crucial.
And seeking support, right, like Anna had with Lucy and Mark. And then actively pushing your own boundaries.
Even in small ways, those little steps outside the comfort zone add up to big changes.
Definitely. And maybe the biggest thing, that power of authentic communication.
Yes, connecting genuinely, focusing on being clear, being sincere, rather than chasing some impossible idea of perfection.
That often works much better anyway.
It really does. So maybe as you think about your own communication goals, ask yourself, what's one small step? Maybe something that feels just a little uncomfortable.
Inspired by Anna.
Yeah. What one thing could you try today or this week to build your own confidence, expand your horizons a bit?
Because that journey of learning, of growth, it's
Yeah.
ongoing, isn't it?
Always. And it's often full of these unexpected, really rewarding discoveries about what you're actually capable of.